Hey, what's up, guys? It's Christian Chase, intern here for Five Reasons Sports, and I have a very special guest today. Richard Bleier, pitcher for the Miami Marlins, just traded over from the Orioles at the start of the season, and we're going to talk some baseball for you. How you doing today, Richard?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. We're in New York right now.
New York, right. Coming up to the fourth game versus the Mets tonight. It's been a good series so far from what I've seen. Watched all three games. The team looks better and better every night, which is amazing to see as a Marlins fan. But
yeah, definitely. I think even last night we almost stole a game with DeGrom pitching.
Right.
Would have been really
the Marlins in like their history have struggled versus DeGrom as throughout his career. I mean, just like every team has. I mean, most would consider him the best pitcher in the NL, maybe even the league at this point. I think he touched like 100 last night, 5 or 6 times for a starter is amazing. But yeah, the team looks great, and I wanted to bring you on, just talk about what you've noticed in Miami compared to like your other teams, how this culture changed with these young veterans, this combination of young or older veterans leading the team and younger guys coming up. Seemingly every day we get a new MLB debut. What has that been like for you out in the bullpen to watch these new guys kind of show up and perform?
Yeah, it's been extremely impressive. I think what you said, like culture change, coming from the Orioles in a rebuild, it's about the rebuild, and here it's about winning only, so we're trying to win. Everybody in the clubhouse wants to win. Everybody that comes up from the minors or their alternate site, or all these guys making their debut are here because everybody thinks that they can help the team win. So it's definitely, there's one goal in mind through everybody that's here and everybody that comes in, and it's to win games and to be competitive in the playoffs and see what we can do. So it's been a really fun experience so far. It's just being in my previous situation in Baltimore, where they're coming off of a long, like an extended successful run, and then kind of trying to get back there, and now here it's like they're starting that long successful run. It seems like this is the first year of where they're trying to really get, like, they feel like they have the guys in place that they want now. So it's good. It's a great situation, not only for myself, for Marlins fans. So I think it's definitely exciting times.
For sure. I think as a Marlins fan growing up, seeing this set of rebuilding years for 3 years, and to now finally come out of it, I think a little sooner than a lot of us even expected, is really nice to see, especially all this veteran leadership, leading the young guys and just showing them like what a winning culture is. It's very evident on the field. I love the ride the wave thing. I think that's really awesome. Every time someone gets a hit, which is amazing. Just switch a little back, just so Marlins fans can get to know a little bit more about you, where you're from, because I'm sure not a lot of fans know this, but you're from South Florida,
right?
You were born in Davie, I believe, and can you talk about like what travel teams, like what rec teams you played for growing up here, and how that transition to high school?
When I was young, I was before the travel, the intense travel team. So I was born in North Miami Beach, and then Hurricane Andrew hit, and we moved up north to Davie. And then I started playing at the town of Davie baseball when I think I played 3 years of t-ball because I started too young. And then up until I was just playing at town of Davie city baseball or whatever, at the fields right by my house. And then I'd say about middle school, maybe one of my, they just kind of like assign you to a team or whatever, or they have like tryouts, and then they just like put the teams together based on like competitive fairness, I guess.
Right.
And I was one of my teams that one of the guys' dads decided to form like a team, and we just, I guess you can call it a travel team, but we just played. It was like all our friends that we just played like local teams around South Florida that kind of were doing the same thing. And then we went to a couple tournaments, which were like really vacations. We did like the Disney one and the St. Augustine one. It was a great time. It was definitely, we had a lot of fun doing that as middle schoolers, going to places like that and playing baseball, playing like, I don't know, a billion games in a weekend. And then I went to South Plantation High School and played baseball there for 4 years, and Florida Gulf Coast for 3 years, and then got drafted. And then
that seems like the perfect kind of linear path to get there. It's awesome. I mean, it definitely shows that the South Florida programs here we have are amazing. I mean, obviously the travel ball has evolved here. Become like a huge thing. I mean, when I was playing baseball growing up, I mean, that was where most of the kids found themselves who were looking to go further in the game like you did. But it's nice to see, like, refreshing to see like one of those stories where it's not just that travel ball path that everyone's so ingrained to see.
It's pretty crazy these days how it is with the travel ball, and it's like it's just gotten very expensive, and it's sad because the kids that show any kind of success in baseball like almost are forced to play travel ball because it's so the talent is just drastically different, and all the talent's gone from just regular
rec leagues.
Baseball.
Yeah, I definitely saw that growing up on my end. But I think my next question for you is, like, after you were drafted, you played a bunch of years in the minors, and then you played 3 years for the Orioles. What was it like? Especially, I thought it was cool that when you were traded to the Marlins, after the third game of the season for us during that COVID break, your first game pitching for the Marlins was against your former team. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was weird, and I think it was weird. The whole situation was pretty weird. But like you said, I've been playing this was my 13th or 12th year or something. So there's been guys on literally every single team that I've played with, or like I know. So at least I had a little bit experience about pitching against guys I've played with before, so in that aspect, I was okay. But, just like walking across the field to one clubhouse to the other is definitely pretty weird. So when I got traded, the Marlins were still shut down. And they were coming, and then the first scheduled game was against the Orioles. So at least I felt like I can contribute to my new team because on the scouting front, I knew everything about every single player, and what they like to do. And so that was easy for me to help out there. And then once I got on the field, there's a hitter that has tendencies, and then I have the things that I'm trying to do. And it's all about just pitch execution and not really worried about who's in the box in terms of how I know them or whatever. Like I said, like when I pitch against the Yankees, I know a lot of those guys, and it's the same thing. We're friends off the field, but on the field, my job is to get them out. So it's the same kind of concept.
Right. So it's very similar for you just to, go out there. I mean, it almost helped in a way to be able to pitch against your former team, which was nice. I mean, you put up some really good innings in that series. I remember, I mean, I think there was a combined, other than that last game in that Orioles series going into it, where it was like an 8-7 finish, I don't think you guys allowed a run in the first 3 games, which was really, really awesome to see. I think seeing the Marlins develop, I mean, pitching's always been a struggle, but this year it seems to be, to an extent figured out, even with I think there was 9 games in a row where we had a different starter start for the Marlins, which was crazy to see. I think it was like the first time ever that something like that happened, and to make it work on a pitching end is phenomenal, really, to see that.
Yeah. I mean, to have that kind of depth in starting pitching is definitely very impressive. And the fact that guys went from throwing balls against their mattresses in hotel rooms to sweeping a team, looking extremely
good,
fresh and good. Yeah. Like just like fundamentally sound baseball after sitting in your hotel room for however many days it was extremely impressive. I don't think anybody really saw that coming, like to the extent of what it was, but it just goes to show that guys are, everybody's bought in, and they knew even still, like with that that major speed bump is still, as long as we were playing again, everybody was right back at it and ready to compete and win games.
Right. So, like, speaking of that speed bump, with that break from COVID, I mean, I know you came into the squad like during the middle of it, or near the end. What was the energy like in the clubhouse? during that time? Was there, or like, I'm sure you guys couldn't see each other face to face, but were you talking? Was there, fear that this was going to like cut off the season even? I mean, because I know that was in talks. Was there just an energy to get back out there and keep winning?
Yeah. So when I got traded over like Friday night. So like Saturday, I just didn't really hear much. And Sunday they had a workout at somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Monday we had a workout at Camden. So that was kind of Monday was like really the first time I had the chance to meet any of the guys and talk to any of the guys. And it seemed like they were, honestly, it was kind of funny. The first game, I was like, man, the intensity and the enthusiasm is like something I've never seen before. And I was, oh, they've been locked in their rooms for 7 days or whatever. What do you they're like a bunch of caged dudes that just got free that are ready to go play, So
yeah,
sunlight for the first time. But yeah, so it's been like that since that game, where the energy and the leadership in the clubhouse, and just like I said, everybody, it's extremely impressive. Something I haven't really been around much in the big leagues, this kind of winning culture.
Right. It's definitely nice to see watching it every night. I mean, it just looks like you guys are out there having fun almost every night, which, I can't say for many other teams in the league or even any Marlins teams have passed in my memory, because, I was like 2 when the Marlins won the World Series in 2003. And I know there was a lot of energy then and in 97. But personally, in my lifetime, I haven't seen this type of energy come out of a Marlins team. And it's just like really fun to watch. Which I think I'm speaking for a lot of fans when I say that, this team is, we can tell that it's something special. You guys are putting together like a set culture that's going to stick with this team, this franchise for a while down the road, which I think we're all excited for.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that was, the building blocks of the previous years, and they're getting there. So it's like I said, it's exciting times for the Marlins, and I think it's only a sign of what's to come in the future for the organization.
Right. And I think everyone's on the same page with that. A little question actually directed more towards you than necessarily the team. What is it like to play for almost your home team growing up? I don't know if you were a Marlins fan growing up, but
big Marlins fan.
Big Marlins fan. So
I used to go to the games all the time. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I think it hasn't really sunk in yet because there's no fans or whatever, and also the new stadium. I went to Pro Player when I was a kid. We would go to those games all the time. I would go to games it was back when tickets were like $2 for the fishbowl tickets for kids. So my dad would take me and my brother, and we would sit in the upper deck for an inning, and then by the end of the game we were 2 rows behind the dugout or whatever. But it was they just let everybody down. But yeah, I mean, I know I watched the 2003 playoffs and the World Series and all that. I mean, I've been watching the team since '93, really. So it's been crazy, and my family is extremely excited. I know that, they're enjoying watching the games, and I think, I don't know what's going to happen next year with fans or whatever, but if things kind of go back to whatever normal, hopefully that'll be kind of a really good experience. Being able to get, I have so much local family in South Florida to the games to see me play would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's definitely weird, but it's fun.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, yeah. I think that's every little kid's dream to end up playing for the team he rooted for when he was a kid, Yeah. And, especially to come to this team now, I feel like maybe it would have been a little different, 2 years ago during our rebuilding process. But, especially coming now with all this, new energy here, it's definitely going to be really exciting. And when fans come back, even more exciting. It's going to be good to see how the fans turn out. We've had issues, obviously, with fan turnout in the past 3 years. But I think with this new team, we should see an uptick in that, which will be amazing, I'm sure, for you to just like pitch in front of your hometown fans.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think my next question for you is a little more based towards the younger kids in South Florida who also, want to get where you're at. Everyone has that goal probably as a young baseball player. what steps would you recommend, especially as like a lefty pitcher who focuses more on control and, location over velocity, to young pitchers growing up who are looking to do the same thing?
It's these days it's tough because everything is velocity. 8-year-olds are like, how hard. I get messages and stuff, kids just asking me questions like, how can I throw harder? And they're 10 years old. It's like, you'll grow and you will naturally throw harder as you get bigger and stronger. It's not something you need to worry about right now. It's like, just go have fun and play the game, enjoy the game, and learn how to play. And if you're a pitcher, they'll throw strikes, learn how to throw strikes. The velocity and all that stuff will come. If you're trying to do too much too early, it's not going to help you. You just, you see so many arm injuries in such young kids these days, and it's just because they're doing things their body is just not ready to do yet, in my opinion. So for me, I think the best thing that happened to me was I didn't grow. I was a late bloomer in terms of, developing. So I didn't start pitching till high school, and all those, all the little league years and all that, I didn't pitch because I didn't throw hard enough. I wasn't. So I was small, and I played outfield and hit. And so my arm, whatever, I just didn't have all those innings on my arm when we were young. And that was kind of before pitch count was really a big deal and all that. So, I feel like I kind of dodged a bullet there. I wasn't happy at the time because I wanted to pitch, but I threw slow. So going into high school, I think my first year pitching was my sophomore year on JV, and then kind of started going from there, and being left-handed and doing a little bit. But yeah, I just, looking back, I think there's nothing that I remember when I was a kid that's helping me right now in terms of this mechanical thing translated to me getting to the big leagues, or because I did this, now I'm here. It was just playing and having fun and continue just playing the game. And then all the technical stuff and all the the stuff that got me here happened in college.
Right.
So, or high school, so I think that people get caught up too soon about, they're recruiting middle schoolers, so it's it's a lot of pressure, but it's just, you're just not quite there yet, ready to really get going in terms of that. And it sounds kind of silly, I guess, but I don't know. I just think that kids should go have fun and play baseball and learn how to compete and learn how to win and learn how to lose, and then worry about, getting to the big leagues. There's a lot of steps to get to the big leagues, and you can't just skip to that one. So that's kind of my input on it.
Yeah, I think you can even draw a parallel from that mentality that you just described there to this Marlins team mentality, that we almost talked about earlier with the whole, you guys are just out there having fun and trying to win. It's not, necessarily, you can see there's no, tenseness on the field anymore. You guys, trying to win, you fight till the end. We saw that last night. Even that 3-run inning was coming off 7 innings of 14 strikeout ball from DeGrom to come out in the 8th and put up 3 runs and tie the game just showed that the team, you guys are having fun, which
right.
Exactly what you said, which is amazing for us to see as fans and, anyone who's watching the Marlins. I think the league is starting to notice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my last question for you, just a little safety thing. How are you staying safe during all this quarantine, COVID stuff? What steps did you take as a major league ball player to, keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, and keep your teammates safe, especially with what's happened with the Marlins?
Right. Well, MLB has done a great job with the protocols, in my opinion. So once we got here to, for me, it was Baltimore. It seemed like things would go fair, which things have gone, other than the Marlins and the Cardinals, or it's kind of gone. It's just been those two unfortunate situations where I really have no idea what happened, but other than that, it's been tough to we can't even go out. I can't leave my hotel room, on the road. At home, we have to, and for good reason. I don't want to be the one to, I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to be the one who brings it into the clubhouse, or, you just see like guys around, other guys around the league are doing things, have done things, and it's been like severe backlash. So that's just something I'm not interested in dealing with. So, for the safety of my family and my teammates, it just makes it's hard to just do nothing else but be responsible. And, it's a short season. So just hang tight, go to work, go home. And then, I feel like if we could get through the season, and then we'll deal with the rest after that. But it's been the protocols and the staff here. As long as I've been here, everybody has been really good about, masks on. And, like I said, I don't know I'm sure they were doing everything they were supposed to be doing before. I just have no idea. I wasn't here. So since like I said, since I've been here, it's been, everything has been very well enforced with the masks and the social distancing, and where we eat, how we eat, and just all the, like I said, all the protocols to try and limit spread throughout a team. And I think that, it's obviously an adjustment, but there's plenty of people that are not able to work still. Or what, it's hit a lot harder other people than me. So if I have to stay in my hotel room or not do much for a couple months, I'd say that it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. It's good to hear that things are back on track. Obviously, we don't know what precautions were taken before you got there, but it seems everything's going on schedule now, which is good. Make sure there's no hiccups along the way. I think I covered everything I wanted to with you today. I think before we go, though, I wanted to get some fun facts so Marlin fans could learn a little bit more about you. So I have 3 questions. First, what's your favorite stadium you've ever played in?
Man, I get this question a lot, and I never actually. I get, there's different parts of stadiums that I like. Like I like the National Stadium is a nice new stadium, but then I have I haven't pitched well there, so I have such terrible memories of on the field performance. I've always liked obviously Fenway is a great place to play. There's just and Yankee Stadium, and Milwaukee was a good place. So I don't really have one favorite, I guess. Because there's so much that goes into it for me that the stadium can't if I don't pitch well there, I don't like it. So if I pitch well there, it's oh, I like that place, but it might not be that nice really. So
right.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. So I don't know. If I had to pick one place that I would have to play, I don't know. It'd be tough. There really are. I haven't even played at Marlins Park yet, so because IL for
right. I totally forgot.
So I don't even know how it is there, but it looks like a nice place to pitch. That's for sure.
It normally is with the inside. It looks like a nice place to pitch. If I were to choose a place to pitch, Miami would definitely be on the top of the list for me. My second question: who was your favorite player growing up?
My favorite player growing up, man. It's funny. I always I always like Cliff Floyd,
okay,
and Dontrelle Willis pitching, and then I like Pudge Rodriguez back on a bunch of Marlins really, but and Ken Griffey Jr.
Oh, of course.
That was his prime was right when I was my baseball watching prime when I was. So yeah, I'd say Ken Griffey was probably one, and then. A lot of the Marlins, a lot of Marlins growing up.
Right. And my third and final question to end the interview is: since you've been on the Marlins, what has been your favorite moment to either watch or be a part of?
Ooh, I think personally, it was sweeping the Orioles in a 4-game series. Just coming from them, that was I haven't been here that long, so there hasn't been. I think I would say that, and then. Just the most impressive thing for me has been the clubhouse culture and the just the drive to win. That so not one specific moment, but just even after a tough loss, Rojas is hey guys, no, like we'll get him tomorrow. Just kind of like being really motivational and just a really good team leader, and Kinsler as well, and a lot of the other guys. It's been impressive to watch and see and be a part of. But last night was actually a good night. For a while there against DeGrom, it felt like it was 100-1. It was only 4-1, but it just felt like we were way out of it for whatever reason, just because he was striking everyone out. And then all of a sudden, from one inning to the next, it's tied. And it just to see the fight where guys can go up there and get dominated really by DeGrom for 7 innings, and to still put competitive at bats together against their bullpen and almost immediately put us right back into that game and a chance to win was extremely impressive. So I guess that's just fresh on my mind. I know we lost, but that was one of the most impressive games I've seen since being a Marlin because of just how it worked out in the situation. But yeah, I don't know. It just shows like the fight, and we came up short, but still, it still is impressive.
Right. It still shows something about the team, the culture, it's great to hear. Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. This has been, great stuff. We learned a lot about you, the Marlins, the culture of the team. So this is me signing off. Thanks for watching. For whoever does, have a good day, guys.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course.